Next for the taking, John QT. Hell of a task. He's got to anchor this one. He's going to be tested momentarily. Pushed up onto the corner. Shots are landing for him, though, but his allies being whittled away in the background. The reposition around into the smoke. Sowing that chaos, but G2 are very aware of it. Waiting for that smoke to fade. Taking a fight together. Keeping it into that 2v1.
Okay, Mondori.
Quick tap. Snake bite forces it forward. Zellsis earns himself that 1v1. It's clever positioning, but now it's about the timing. Swinging around, Jawgemo holding his ground. A tap as well.
Ooh, nice clutch.
And a right click to earn Sentinels that pistol. Makes it awkward. Splash that's about to occur. Zetkin was opening himself up wide there, but a beautiful one to win out. Clone's going to be tagging and taking a couple of the bullets here. G2 just trying to force and fight their way out of this tricky spot.
そう実マジ最強っぽいからね。
As you mentioned, straight through main, but Jonah PB in that
ここまで
backup
1ラウン
policy
ド
and
も
John
落とし
QT.
ていやいやいやいや
See what he can do. It's a
1マッ
1v3
プ
with
も
time
ね
ticking against him.
1ラウンド目も1ラウンドも落としてなかったらガチチート集団
A little
や
bit too late to go for the play, just trying to play for those exit kills. Tap, looking for the second wave of things here. Sending it a bite down.
ゼッケンやばい今うんこ漏れしそうに
Thinking
なった
about
わ
it down, he's Zellsis.
強すぎ
He's
て
offloaded it into him, leaving it to the 1v1 though. Spike out into the open, and John QT in mid, and Zellsis has got the watch on. Decade is being watched for, and Jawgemo somehow wins that fight out.
How did Jawg win that?
And with that, thrown into their sides with a TP
Oh,
reposition once more, but the Armageddon is a problem. TP again, step forwards, and John has dealt with him. He was a pesky problem, Jawg. One less thing to worry about still. This is where it gets tight. Thick and heavy in terms of what's being laid down onto this side. Second side step, happy feet in the process. Snap to the side. The stun connects, and Trent is firing off. It's a back-breaking round for either of these teams. Rolling Thunder this time committed over to the left side of the site. A lot of players going to be collected, stunned up in the process. Second, in and through towards the back. Masterful shot, returning with the fire once more, but Narrator's dropped down to help them out. Reinforcements are arriving. What is that from Jawgemo? Snaps to the side. Still alive. The pit causes chaos, causes confusion. Hamilton to the defuse, and it all comes down to Valin.
Save the brokies on the defense side. What was this? What?
That's okay.
So is that how he won a trophy, was it?
The sound cue, something being heard off the back of it. Still,
15 seconds.
They're swiveling around all over the place here, and time is running
Yeah,
short. Shy of the mark still. Wrapping around, bullets are nailing. And head's not quite popped, but players are weak enough that the slightest of breeze is going to be bringing them down to their knees. A 2v2. Or back up. Popped up. And then he saw the positioning, and he saw these shots. John has just ripped it off the heads. Zellsis alongside him.
爆発してるな
To this game.
And G2 had just got themselves into a better spot. We were just talking about the fact that with that huge ult round that they got onto A,
Armageddon. Cosmic Divide on top of it. It's a
Bang
unique
goes forwards.
one. Yeah, it goes forwards, and the Bang is ahead of it. Oh my, timing to be caught. You can hear it. Boom's ricocheting behind him. Team's being bought and brought back into the fight and the fray. Plant online for G2. No pushback, and not playing anybody on site.
they're going to wait for the Euro ultimate. Here comes Zekin's retake.
Yeah, Dimensional Drift is going to give full information now for retake to occur. Spots the one. It's a Yoru player though. Jawgemo has potentially evacuation, but I'm not too sure how many TPs he's actually got. Inside the smoke to play around, weaving in and out, and it's about that timing. Missed it. Narrate finds it. Salvos pushing them back and away. They've got the pull as well to play this one to the early hours of this. Narrate sticking, half onto the defuse already. These are the wing guns board, and it is perfection in motion. Sentinels.
これさ俺さ
On the
ちょいちょ
retake,
いアメ
they're
リ
in.
カズ
They
見てる
take
けど
space,
さ
and then they have two players ready to catch the heaven reflank.
Players though look their way up forwards. The gun might just give away the plot. Bang takes the timing and takes their heads away. Spikes drop down in the middle of nowhere here. G2 don't really have a chance in hell. Jawgemo rips it from behind. That's a dimensional drift. Considered but not ripped off. And the rate locking it all in.
They're going to have to turn this around.
Once more, no time to catch your breath. Jawgemo's all the way in with a dimensional drift. Then again back with the disrespect! Dominating the smoke positions. Out through the back as well as an Armageddon. Lay it down on top. flash in your face. You are blinded up. And very little chance, very little opportunity for Jonah P to pave the way to victory. It's a 9-3 start to split. Side. Salvos clearing out towards Ven. That's a fault line. Up on top of the angle. He's trying to play and defend his teammate. Stuns are going to be fading, but it flashes into the face when the clone goes down. Still off to the round. Poor. Okay, push forwards all the way. JungQT, leader not just in name. Taking space and taking fight straight to them. They are cleaning up. Leaves it down to Trent in that 1v4, and he's not anticipating the hell position. John with 3 bullets as well for the trouble, but Drone sets it forwards, an attempt to spam as well from Jonah P. He's trying to be brave, and you have to be at this point. It's 11-3, but Sentinels are the ones in full control of the situation.
Time to jump.
A 3v4, and John just causing a bit of a, or calling, sorry, a bit of a pause in the round. Bang took pressure in mid, and there takes a fight.
Okay.
Bang in mid.
One hell of a trial awaiting him, and the Salva's going to make it that much more difficult. Spraying them down is the only chance he had. At least it takes one down to the grave. Heaven watchful onto the angle. Again, the util is just perfect. Buys that time and that space. Dimensional Drift is going to be committed. That's second. He's using it, getting the info. Double drop down. Backs to the possible position, but now they should know where these players might be still out in the open. It was Trent on an island, and George left to do it all. 1v2. 3-piece overall. Spray down into the body for just a bit of extra spice. It's aftershock committed. Flank. Vital kill. And the rate drops.
Very exposed position for Narrate to be playing now. Zellsis cleared as well. Should have been.
死ぬけど、まあワンキルも取ったのナイスだ。
At the end of the day, G2 finding these players and finding a couple of heads for their troubles. Second, too much to overcome into that spot. Ult offloaded nice and early. This is Jawgemo just tracking down these players. He sees the wall. Zellsis is running for his life. Right there to help him out over the shoulder. Second. Cuts up the angles, cuts up the gap, and a perfect flash at that. So Spam gives him that timing, and Sentinels, they can feel it. It's blood in the water, and they are hunting it down. Trent, slightly ajar, Leaf tucks himself down to hell. Wait a second. Spoke too soon, but second. Able to salvage this operation, and with it, an early finish to that. Fake TP trips him out, and that's a 13-4 start. His best of 5 finals. The wall spotted out early just from that drone. Seconds up close. Clone to lead the charge. He's up and over as well on top of it. There's going to be Thorns. Salvo's stuns offloaded. Everything collapsing and colliding into these players. And there's a full separation onto the site. There's just Sentinels left to look in dismay as they were dismantled. Patient is in the back of the minds of these SEN players. What a wall. They're going to be full speed ahead. Second TP'd already. In that default spot. There's slipping his way in through the back. This is a nice play indeed. Still dropped down almost single digits. Going to be regenerating back up and alive. G2 trying to opt into the retake, making sure that they hold on to control towards the back and Art. Be able to put the squeeze down onto these Sentinels players. Especially with second this low flash through and around. Cuts up to the corner. Narrate not expecting it. Still off to the side. The players are lining themselves up now. Ready for the taking. It's a 2v2 at that, slipping around to the corners, 1v1. Bang versus Leaf. Sees his players, the position's noted. Bang out wide, Henter missing. Rattling the left off. And it's a right click that does it. Good, cuts it up into the corner, it's a Rico star. And our players ready to meet their match. Up close here is Jonah P. Not enough to spray it down. Just collapsing onto the players, the attempt by G2 with that retake, and Leaf is late to the party. Late to the party indeed. Second round now.
And was hoping that he could find a timing as the plant was going down, and it looked like there wasn't too much support on site. A weird one, a wild one.
And these players are just toppling, man. This is G2's defense getting picked to pieces. Tapestry just unraveling before our eyes, and leaves it just to the three of them. Valiant has to go re-exploring, but dangerous spot to do it as well.
3 G2 players whiffing on defensive lines here to open up the map completely for Sentinels.
いや、ファントも多いだろうね。絶対マジ強くなったんだろうなって思うもん。わあ、それなんで
Hello! Anticipating the recross as well. Go wrong for Sentinels, but Jonah P onto that angle, bang, somehow wins that fight out. Steps it up. Cosmic Divide going to be hard committed. And Trent just cannot get onto the timing fast enough.
センチネル
Even when things start to go a little bit wrong, they make it awkward, just to make it tricky. Salvos, and again, pushed forwards. It's out of the frying pan into the fire. And Trent will attempt to return it. Does drop second.
Bang is very alone.
Dodge. Bang is super alone right now. Sidestep towards it. Backup arriving. G2 doing damage, weakened it up. John QT's having a sidestep this with a Hunter's Fury up in his face. Cosmic Divide. And John QT ahead of it. Thorns buying that space, buying that timing. Dart broken and dealt with. Cuts it up close here. It's going to come down to the gunfights. And the discipline of G2 needs to reign supreme. They can't take these individuality. They do it. It's a high-low setup and swinging right through and just not set up for that reef. If he wins this one out, it means that A main is not going to be safe for him, and he does win it out. So bang, drop. No more smokes as well to play around, but we'll see if Sen have the protocols to try and reclear this one, but Dimensional Drift is earned up, so Jawgemo can get out back to safety. Spots him out. 2 through main. Doesn't know where the last is, but Zellsis is a common position to play indeed. They've been watching the VODs. They're going to know he's around. Time dwindling though. It's running short. The longer they take, the more stall that Sen are going to be operating off of. Jawgemo, he's left with his head on a swivel. He knows that there's that potential for the reflank, but you can already hear it ticking away with the spike in hand. Gunplay in order. And shots need to be fired. Bodies need to topple. G2 need to really win this one out. Defend that defuse that's really coming through. And Fallin, his confidence fully into the rest of his team. They stick it out. And
Sen struggling with it a little. For example, with Bang getting caught. And the positioning in the post plan is very predictable. As you said, Zellsis is always going to be. G2 are starting to find their rhythm here. These rounds resemble in the smoke.
Yeah, didn't quite get the value he was looking for here. Still, it's going to be darts and util ricocheting outwards. Finally dropped and dealt with. TP's on top of it. Everybody playing back and away now. Sin getting themselves into that post. And he's just using the salvos here to start. Recall. John lucky to cross and lucky to keep his life intact. There's bullets flying down on top of him. Nightfall, not quite. That's going to be the steel
that's going to help with the
garden.
retake. They need the guns.
Almost certainly. Pushed back, just a pull. It's going to be buying his time for them. Still, fight needs to be won out second. He's the one with the rifle. So around! And Sentinels.
Composure's a great word because G2 lost it there. That's a solo play from Jawgemo. He wasn't synced with Trent. Whether that's a comms issue, whether that's Jorg being too aggro.
And they're hoping that somebody just opens themselves up, but that's going to be the call made. Forwards pressing the advantage that potentially they've got, but it is chaos all across the site. And Jawgemo make sure to step into that smoke. Fight on the flank. Yeah, and this is going to be still with 12 seconds remaining. Jonah P, he's taking out Bang. Zellsis left in that impossible scenario. He's jumping around, he's leaping around. Util out into his hands, wins out the fight. Yeah, it's just ran short. And so 6 to 6.
ちょっともったいなかったな今一瞬止めたの止めなかったらそのままいけたのに
a little bit better of a game here. Masa, I'm gonna come to you first. How are you feeling about the game?
Masa Yoshi
so far, what do you think the outcome's gonna be?
Dude, they're looking collective. They're like one unit right now. Honestly, I think we're gonna have a great BO5 on our hands. Yeah.
お前何してんだこんなとこで東京アンダーグラウンドって書いてある
Oh, he's giving me feelings that I haven't felt in a long time. Honestly, I'm proud of
one off, but still the committal into the site. G2, you can hear it now, the rumble of the footsteps. John QT, got the salvos primed, but it's not something you can really use off of just the sound cue to try and deny the plan. They're a bit too slow for that.
Activity in the post plan, good to see from G2. They got read last time by Sentinels on split.
It's all about catching that player right there, so Zellsis.
ナイスショット
Taking out this lane position. A lot of control for G2, and the flashes are beautiful on that. They're meeting them pound for pound with these pistols in hand. Shock darts rebounding. Cacophony of util. And John is left to pick up those pieces, see if he can forge a path to victory into this pistol, but he knows he's got a lot to do. And a lot to account for. Leaf making sure
Zeka was so far away.
Time to turn up the tempo. Jonah P, did he make a sound cue here? He has to be potentially that knife in the back, but no. Reveals it early, just gets the one before the trade comes through. Leaf watching up and over the angle. Flash is not doing too much at all. Second, Shorty knocks him down. What? Unbelievable!
Somehow takes it.
Always
What was this?
Always
He used 3 different weapons for the 3 different
85点
kills.
のエイムを常に
But
出
the
し
shot
続け
on
てる
Leaf is
ゼッケン
spectacular. It's a
たまに
pre-fire.
120点出てくんだよ
Anticipating
な
that
しか
peek
もこう
through.
やって
Dodges the flash. Shocks are flying forwards, but the Thorn's still dead at anyway. That dart is inside the smoke. They are
あ
unaware
こ
of
れい
this.
い
And
めっ
here's
ちゃ
that
うまい
goal.
うわ
And the collapse
ーこ
from
このアング
Sentinels.
ルそう見えんだめっちゃ強いな
The
そ
minute
れ
of ice grip. Jawgemo left to do a lot from this spot. It's only 9 seconds remaining. The tap. But it's discipline now. In from Sen, and they realize that they've won it.
セーブ
Just bang
あそ
securing
こ
the
ああやっ
round.
て見えんだねめっちゃ
There was
強
a
いわ
couple over. They've lurked their way all the way through, in through the back. There's a slight gap into the window, but it's being watched for. Shorties! My God, just finding the cranium, and Jawgemo just backs himself in through main.
Ah,
It's a 2v4 in the blink of an eye with the Hunter's Fury at that. Tail end of it, getting that damage, flash through into the smoke. There's no respite.
Lovely value coming out of the back of the tactical timeout from Josh RT. I really like that B leaning default into the A main reclear. Don't quite understand what Narrate was thinking, holding his space there. Throwing out the Nightfall is fine, but you got to play behind cover and wait for your teammates to play in. He just tried the wide swing.
It's okay. Also try and hold this one back. Dimensional drift. Jawgemo is going to grab that information once more. He's going to be using it to see if he can set the path and clear the way. They know the wall's not quite there. Jawgemo knives out, just trying to bait that fight out. Still Jawgemo. How is he getting the one before the trade comes through? Shorty's out. The players have just flooded their way back in. This is desperation from Sentinels. But is it going to be enough? Not quite. G2. They're even ready. He dodges it, but here it is. Tapping to the foots and the rifle, not quite as the pistols in hand. Jawger's doing enough for them. Overwhelming the presence that Senna trying to get going over towards their defense. And that
I thought they might read the fact that that was coming through the flank, but Bang didn't really have a teammate to play closely off. Timing slightly askew between him and Zellsis.
Ty's just trying to exchange out that util as well and seeing G2 hoping that they can get a better side of it. Zekken though. Basically the only one playing forwards onto that. So Flash does connect. It's good in the process, but time is taken away and it's running short at that. And the rate forwards and put in a bit of a pinch. The Armageddon has to be offloaded here. So nobody's going to be able to stick this one, but they're overlapping a lot of their util. Still ticking. Leaf's been knocked off the map at some point in the end. The pull is a savior at the end of the day. If the guns didn't rain it, it's going to be that.
To try to get through this smoke here that we're watching. Whereas instead, G2 are a good enough team if they realize you're playing full offside. They're holding onto all of that util and then chucking it at you.
Towards G2 to see how well they can retake. With an op in the hands of Leaf too, it's going to be slowing them down a step. Drone is used to clear the way. Broken. Playing to the corner, not anticipated. John QT playing ahead of the curve when it comes to G2, seeing if they can at least make a way for it, but it's that rolling retreat that's being ordered for. And second hitting. Still a lot to tangle. And still Valen with the 2, but Trent left alone now in a 1v2, and it's just not doable.
Leaf and Jawgemo can both be playing in tucked positions behind boxes. You are actually worried about B main as well, because that's where the operator is going to be a large amount of the time. You're also worried about that jump spot that Leaf has been playing, painting the change from G2 and hit B.
It's a big ult. There's no gaps at all to play within, and Valen was hard committed to the one side. He was just trying to bail out his teammate that was Jawgemo, but TP's backs away. Oh my, it's all going apart, isn't it, for G2? Dimensional drift, the Hunter's Fury, any attempt to salvage this fight. But the tags, okay, landing in the end was Zekken cleaned up, and that's a plan. Still not committed, but Sentinel's now going into the next wave of things here. Jumping down, flash forwards, but the shot's missing, going wide of the Outlaw. No damage done, no kills to be found. G2 still making this awkward, but Sen, make sure to defend their IGLs back, make sure that they can't step over it still. Not accounting for that. Leaf rips it off the shoulders. A 2v3, they got to take a step, okay. The pull forced out, and Leaf left to do it all in this spot. Taps out wide, that's just the first layer of things, and now he's going to worry about the flanks, okay. There is that level of awareness, he's taking a fight towards it and isolating it, but no bullets left. Gets the reload, time ticking against him, but only 18 health to work with, and Narrate knows it. The Conver and the rest of his team, communication is clear. Goes for that jump forward, a shorty just in
terms of being ahead of the game. John is reading stuff really well, and I'm super impressed with the anti-stratting that they've got going on. To shift up their composition, add the Taeho in, and be so aware of the threats that...
Oh my, he's in Astral form. They've slowed it down.
Look, he doesn't even think about it.
Already passed, but I think he spotted them anyway! It's too late. That's slightest of timings, and Bang left to pick up the pieces. And these players off onto the flank. The dart is going to be dealt with, and now it's Trent who's been put under a bit of a squeeze. Just to offload that util, just to see if he can buy some space and time. And even with that discipline, trying to slow down the shot to the Sheriff, it's Bang that still contains the pace. Just jump peek through the wall. He needs information to roll with first off, and well, okay. Leaf there. TP back behind, he's not going to anticipate this. It was all obfuscated. Wait a minute! Speak too soon. And now, hold on, he's going to be able to get half with this. The star was late to be placed. He's sticking it all away. He's sticking it all away. Bang thinks it's a fake tap. Bang thinks it's a fake tap. What a clutch! Even though just not getting the kills around and out. Leaf has just stolen a round away from them.
クールタイムじゃないよね。読み合いしたのかな。
I think it must have been. He was the last player alive and he's in astral form as the tap goes because he's placing the star. I think he just missed the sound cue, to be honest.
わかんないな。読み合い音聞こえてないはないと思うんだけど。Waves
coming outwards. Senna holding this one too for Nail, playing ahead of the Cosmic Divide. They know they have to play up onto the side, but G2 have got all their plays towards the backside of it. John needs one and potentially calls for the collapse and calls for the help of the rest of his team to put an end to what G2 were aiming for.
Beautiful round from Sentinel. Comes into A and pushes Leaf away again, and Narrate is getting set up for these cross-map paranoias to also push the chamber further and further. Takes Heaven control, and then is the backstab.
This one, square up, take the fight straight to them. Everyone really quite close and personal up onto the site. No one playing off to a degree, and that's back open wide. Zellsis now going to be commenting the fights occurring, and decisions need to be made. Sentinels, they have to carve out a path. There's only 2 of them remaining. A 2v3, there's timing still. Clone dealt with, and Leaf, by this time, wait for his team to slowly collapse onto him. He is low though, brings it at 2v2. It's still uncomfortable for Sentinels, but it's definitely winnable, and it comes down to that fight! Bang wins it, 1v1! Unable to capitalize, Valin!
Needing it. You see him after he wins this one, staring up towards the ceiling, praying for another one to come his way. Or maybe just taking a breath after how frantic the site.
Trent is hyper committed. Needs to make a play. His back just opens up wide. He somehow gets 2, and he's still alive. Alive and kicking, and ripping Sentinels to shreds. The slightest of windows, and he capitalizes, jumps on it, pounces on it almost immediately, and a refight taken out towards A main. This is rapid. Shock darts, trying to force him out wide. Jawgemo has a spike drop down on top of it. Bang! He's going for another re-swing, and he's found 2 of his own. 3 total into the round. It would have to be an ace. 2 left to stand.
しかもピークしようとしてる。
Gonna be fading just in a moment. He hears the footsteps and knows what to expect.
They don't know he's here.
They don't know. He's crossed up onto the corner. Opened up into the shoulder. And a trade inside for Jonah P.
Somehow, he gets 3 out of this, playing off the flash from Jonah P wonderfully, and then comes back to deal with Zekken.
Trent being the opener and the closer of that final round. Exactly what G2s and Blossoms up onto the corner. Smoke drop down into the feed. Jumps body, sees the head, and that's a lot of bullets rattled off and away. Wait a second.
That's a clone.
Clone gone. Okay, tripped me out for a second. All good. Zellsis ahead of the smoke. He's trying to play ahead of that timing right from the backside as well. They're anticipating that G2 are going to go for that refight. And 1 step ahead from Sentinels.
It should be Sen's round.
It should be. Steps forward. When that was the low player, not even necessary. Slightly overkill, but it turns into the 3v3 quick evacuation backing away. That's Util going to be expended, and Zekken happy to peek off of it. Pushes Leaf into that unfavorable spot and position, and the shock darts flying forward still. They're low, and Zekken needs to hold the line, push them back. Sheriff in. Gets it done.
He could take, and Sen take a pistol. Like I said, they'll feel like it was owed to them, but also, they've just been so good in the rifle round situations. They've still been playing G2 close. Surely this is what it takes to push them over the line and get a 2-1 lead in this series. Isn't deep enough to force out his gate crash either. No threat of the suppression, and this was what we were talking about earlier.
What a shot!
What is that?
You're kidding me?
He's so ready for it, though. He plays in that spot himself all the time.
He just knows the crosshair placement. That's a hard shot to hit. Even if you notice somebody there.
This timing might be hard to hit.
Still going for it. Wait, he's calling the players back over towards B.
He's using the trademark for info, trying to clear that spot, and Bang was in that spot just a moment ago.
And just that Jawgemo insert in through mid. Thriving in the chaos, a deep flash into the corner, and Array has no options whatsoever. Flawless from G.
Early to say this, but I'm already a little worried about what Sen are doing in mid. They committed super heavy to the B trap, and that's fine. But they had a single Tejo drone to re-clear through middle there, and otherwise...
Wait, the drone. Aftershock into the corner, that's meant to be the punish. So John's forced to cancel and just, whoops, get the hell out of there.
Leaf can't cross.
And still gets out with the one.
Leaf cannot cross. How's he
う
crossing?
わー、
Yeah,
い
this
い
is it.
フラッ
Risk needs to be
シ
taken, but that's all in
ュ
fun. Then it's going to be knocking you
う
sky
わー、
high.
しかもこれ
Zellsis.
ウルト取
Can he
って
still
も
stay alive
う
and
わ
kicking?
ー
Red in the needle. Trent just trying to get himself
マジ
way
死
into
ね
the
る。これ
side
死
here.
な
But
ね
a
んだ、
spam
ブ
and
リーチウルト
an
で。
offloaded with
What's
the
going
ult.
on?
I mean, Zellsis is just using that just to try and survive up through mid though. That is creeping. Leaf still that backstab play occurring. And this is the danger, as you mentioned. But there's still 27 seconds to play with Bang. Deep flash dodged. And Leaf's still there. He's holding it down. Out forwards. Bang. Creeping closer. Onto the side now. And he's applying pressure of his own. He's trying to get Sentinel straight back into this fight. But sidestepping. It's good movement from Jonah P. Caught with a reload out into the open. And Jonah P and Zellsis forced to do a lot into this spot. And the backstab finally comes through.
That round is K1's round to take. But Sen come out with the goods. I mean, this is mad. You do not see G2 make that kind of mistake very often. Bang and John QT.
Adjustments that Sen are trying to make. It's a fault line going its way forward. Jawgemo needs to really respect, I think, that they've got a variety of players just tapping away with the bullets there. Crossing them up onto the angles. Leaf has been dealt with. He was cut up onto the side. There's still no plant here for G2. Time has been bought for these Sen players, and they are rapidly approaching. Hold on, there's a timing! Jawgemo's ahead of it. Drone at his feet, not worried about it. No defense inside, and with that heaven control, an extra difficulty now. Lay it down for the Sen retake, especially with the op into the hands of Zekken. He has to be a passive player. It's the rest of his team now that need to step up, and Bang does so. He's forward onto the site now. Making sure to apply that pressure evenly, but they still need to worry about this heaven player, and they might be trying to catch him here onto the timing. And yes, the raid's caught him. Here's the danger, spamming down onto them with bullets.
抜いて
Raining
殺し
from
たらあ
above,
る
the
から
raid
な
can stick
全
this
然
one. The smokes
わ
into
そ
their
うそうそう
faces,
そ
and
う
what is
そう
the
こ
next
この雨
option?
強いんだよね、リテイクの時
Still got half
これ
though.
時間なくね
Players are so low. Wait a minute. Wait
うわ
a
ノー
minute.
タイム
Trent is pulling off just an absolute miracle. Despite the win con, Second has no choice just to watch from the sidelines here and try and survive away from the sphere, but just encased by it. There's no saving that
自分で
operator.
進路選ぶのは悪く
And
ない
that's on away from Bladestorm. Maybe they can make a play for an orb. But it's all of the chip damage that was done earlier that allows the spam to come through. The spam is really unreliable now, but it's a good plant position. And look at that. I mean, that's not over much.
Players from Sentinels. Fault line, two of them stunned up. In through the smoke as well, trying to take these timings and then fighting ahead of it. This is a difference. Sen trying to take it, a bit of argy-bargy onto the side. Jonah P just spots the top of the cranium, but not expecting the backstab. Narrate was there, ready with open arms.
Heavy stack on B. G2 not ready for it. This should be unwinnable for G2.
With the spike drop down into the open, they've got Zellsis, I believe, taking contact just with the slightest of jiggles. Sees it. And here's the... Oh, wait a second. Narrate losing that fight.
That's a whiff.
It adds difficulties.
The flank, though. The flank from John.
Yeah. He's got to be the savior for them. They can't stop the plant, but they still have a very good chance of winning this round, assuming the timing is taken. Missed him into the corner. These... Well, Armageddon's not going to give away the position. It's going to push them straight into his grasp, though, and it's intelligent at that. It's the major benefit of it. And John, he's lucky to be alive there, but with it, he gets the information he was looking for. They know where Trent is. Stunned up, out into the corner. Still loses it, but it's an impossibility at this point. Cliffside plant, full stick, full presence of mind. That
Able to take both map picks from G2 with really nice ideas. But most of the preset ideas came in the first half, and now they're kind of scrambling. It's a lot of improv stuff.
He's tethered onto the corner. He's going to be TPing, repositions, in through the smoke as well. He's cut up the ankles. They don't know where this guy is playing from. It's a pivot. And Jawgemo's still trying to play this one forwards, but Lee finally takes that timing. Up to go straight through mid. Can't win the fight out though from those straggling players, and Sentinels have an opening. A window for them. Valen forced to get off that plant. There's danger there with the salvos raining down from above, but John is low. Knives in the hands of Zekken. What is the play they're going to cook up in this spot? Cosmic Divide. This is going to force Sen forwards. Gives Valen that space to reposition. Playing himself a little bit back. There's a dash forwards. It was saved just for this. One with a stun. Anything to try and coordinate this attempt. And they have cleared up most of the side. They've got to know these players playing behind Pillar.
It's not a good plan.
Not really. They have to double up now and take this fight towards them, but still no kills that could be earned by G2. Despite it not being a good plan, time is ticking. It's getting away from Sentinels here. They need to force the issue. Salvos out wide. That's what they were waiting for.
ノータイムでしょ別にああ間に合う
Yes, just
全然間に合うわノータイムじゃないうまい
Tons
今
of
の
time here for Sen to be able to get it across the line.
うま
My
すぎる
God, what patience from Sen.
そううまいな今の。
Couple of players off onto the side as a cosmic divider split them up, and that's why Trent is playing up and close and personal. The full line, just a slight whiffage, but still the kills are raining down upon them. Jawgemo TP'd back into the spawn angle, I believe.
まあ3-4-4だったら。
It dealt with it, at least partially. The salvos now drop down onto the cliffside. Slide down away! Drop down! And Trent has no choice but to just fire a last-ditch effort, anything to survive this. John's found the kill. Second under the fuse, the slightest of taps, and Jonah B is nowhere near. It's inevitable! Sentinels take the lead!
ガチでやっちまった。
That's an unreal map. So much scrambling on the fly, and you heard it from inside.
俺さ、もしやさ、G2 だっけ俺が見ててすげえって言ってた遅延。おお強い。ドロップからさ、めちゃくちゃさ、レイズのブラストパックで上飛んでってプラントして遅延しまくってたのって G2 だっけ G2 じゃないな、どこだっけ GG か。キルジョイもいたもんな。
G2
最強的さ。
Awareness from the Sentinels players, but smokes are going to be dividing up the site now. It's all up onto G2. Jawgemo will make an attempt to conquer. And speaking of that, I mean, Sentinels just overwhelmed Trent from that spot, putting him into a really uncomfortable position. With him gone, they don't have to worry about the A main flank too much. And G2 don't really have the weaponry to be taking straight up duels here. They're pushing spawn. Yeah, risk to their own. Zellsis just layering down. And raining them down with lead on top of him, man. Still from the back. Leave. What to contest with there. Sound cues all around.
First loss. And here the lesson was, we need to be earlier onto Trent. We can't allow him to just get back into that passive position already. And they caught him with a wave of flashes.
On this map.
Last time we saw G2 play, they were fast tempo, which is a little bit unusual. You expect them to be more of that slower defaulting team. But on this map, they just ran a bunch of fast set plays.
Oh, the repeat, put a boom in your face just makes it a bit of a mistake there still. It's answered back. That was John QT just layering down that covering fire. And the thorns, that's a sound cue.
Yeah, that's so good.
Leave, here's the reposition of Bang and knows to punish. Conventional drift going to be expended though. Second, he's got to do something to try and turn the tide of this fight. Sweeping their way out through the smokes. A bit of ground's going to be gained out through and wide. G2 running down these players.
That's a disgusting kill onto Zekken towards the end of his
garden if they get into position. So Zekken has really got to hold on to spawn control. His team are here. Nade, push them back in case there is that flood attempt. A bit of spam. Oh, leave. Gotta be careful. Gotta be really careful like that. Here's that ult. I just talked about it. Be playing a bit of a difference. Leap goes down though, that's an aftershock. Meant to deal with this one. Surely he's up on high ground. Just laying down death from above. Still, Sentinels managed to regain control of the side. It comes down to the spam straight down main. These players are toppling Sentinels. It looked like they had an advantage, but just like that. Talk on the wrong way, a tap. They've earned half, but guns out wide. Valen's got the ult, orbital strike. Your outs are dwindling. Your options are out. And what can Zekken do? Salvos to work against. The rapid spike approaching. He's forced to save it away.
Odd post plant spots there. Scramble away with a victory. That's a Jawgemo play if I've ever seen one. But they're relying on spam here to be able to get the job done. And then just got the ult online.
Yeah, it's TP to get back and away. He is anchoring hard onto the site. Not sure if they heard that one. It's a rolling thunder. Clears his way through it. Oh my, the corner on top to try and fake an obfuscate where he could be hiding, but he cannot escape from that Jawgemo sight line. Bang! Makes an attempt of it, putting a squeeze onto the site players, but G2 are just overwhelming it, man. Holding it down, they know what to expect. This momentum. It's hard to stop teams. Yeah, I mean, I do like the play from Zekken. He fake drones over the top just in case, but I think with the drone just on top of the wall, it kind of gives it away that that's not the real one.
You don't think that's reasonable?
You're done so. You're done so. Straight into the open arms and the firing line the G2 were waiting for. And look at this read! It's the wall, I think, that was triggered. They got to know that there was something up on towards the flank. Something was smelling up, and it's onto Zekken! Layering down. That's suppressive fire indeed. Gets the one. Still alive, 56 health to work with. He's making his way forward. John QT stops them at the front door. Sorely needed here for Sentinels.
And Zekken relocates, takes the rope. Oh, and John is too good for it.
Nice.
And G2, they actually did read it, as you were saying. The Vice Wall gave them the cue. They just couldn't win the fight at tree. And they couldn't get past John.
Sentinels are worried about potential threat of drop, and if they try and contact play into it as a Steel Garden, respect shown. Smoke split up the site. Util of their own going to be used and expended, trying to slow them all the way down, but Jawgemo's straight in there.
It's amazing retake ultimates here for Sentinels. Zekken can give them full info for the breach ult.
And here it is, Dimensional Drift. It's going to point into the direction for his team to let loose, really. As you mentioned, potential there with a breach ult, but John QT has gone down. Jawgemo's found one onto Bang as well. And the ults let loose. There's 20 seconds left into this. Zeken's just trying to buy some time for the rest of his team to get in. He could be a difference maker. 13 seconds, he needs to clear this guy up. He's got one for his troubles, but it's all answered. G2, lock and key is what he got a side under. Zellsis creeping around the corners, but even the drop just being watched for. 7-2 now. That scoreline just when you think Sentinels.
The info that they needed, and then G2 got a couple of kills that seemed like they came out of nowhere. There's one onto John, and there's the second onto Bang. And that put them in a devastating spot. Map of Haven.
Yeah, we don't know what to expect. We really don't. Bullets are hitting, connecting, Bang, pressing the advantage as SEN. They're trying to get ahead of these timings that G2 are taking. Works out in their favor, but it's going to be Util use pound for pound. And Jonapi push forwards into it. To scramble, an attempt of salvage from here. G2 to get that spike back, and at the same time, and here's the salvos. Oh, no, there's no gaps to play in. Tap with the Guardians in hand. Leave it just down to Trent, though. It's a 1v2 offline. Held down. Did you order a little bit of argy-bargy? Because you might be getting it here. And now off the contact. It's a little bit delayed, and they want to take it one step further. Narrate hard committed. Flash will not save you. It's a three-piece. Ordered up nice and pretty. Jawgemo delivers it to his team. Foe's going to be gathered here, and yet respect shown by G2. Peppering them with bullets straight through the dish, but they've got the spike and they got themselves out. But there's only 17 seconds to work with, and here's the danger. G2 have got the read. Yeah. And planting our potential. I'm sure when the salva's coming online, but Jawgemo's already there. Just been using to see if they can push this one back. 6 seconds left. Yeah, but time's running out short. It's open-handed, isn't it? There's your iPod power.
Pistol, stopping them from getting the spike. I like the setup from SEN, but Jaw just hit the shots.
That's hashtag as well for this re-clear coming through. Drone, see what it spots off. And here's an attempt of it. Zekken steps forwards. Trent though quick on the trigger and the trade.
They got rid of Jawgemo though, which means no showstopper. So that's one piece of plant denial not available. Can SEN get in? Vale in under pressure.
Yeah, definitely under pressure. There's flashes all over the place, man. He's blind as a man. He can't see anything in this spot. So the thought, what is that? Zellsis tapping, hoping, praying that they open themselves up into it, making it that much more winnable. Dodges the flash, and now he knows it, at least expects it. One player, at least in domain, sees the barrel. Can't win the fight. Trent locks onto him. All bang to the head.
They're flanking so early. They did this in the prayer.
Lambs to the slaughter. Steel Garden overlaid on top. Jawgemo does not care. You can take away his gun, but he's still got the rockets. Still the salvos out wide here. Drifting in and out of these fights. And it's Bang who ends up dropping. 2 players left to stand here from SEN, Zekken and Zellsis, trying to make sense of this chaos in the round. Trying to reclaim any sort of space. Zellsis slips in from under. There's the one. Jiggle. Start. Oh no! Just a bullet tag slowing down the momentum. He can't evade that.
音楽聴きながらやってるとは思えないレベルのうまさしてる。
Any more to follow and head to Haven, but gotta focus. Maybe gather a bit of momentum, just make it that much more doable. Valen does eventually get removed away from the side here. The bullets are firing. Sentinels. It's going to be heard for. Committal, they know where the plant is as well. That nade is going to be rebounding, pushing John out into the open. And, well, okay, now a spray down, Trent! Where have you pulled that from? Just from the side, just when he thought SEN were getting comfortable into this round. It's a 1v1. Him versus the Narrate. Doesn't expect the reposition. Narrate straight from behind. Active. This is going to be cleared out. Wait a second, SEN. No, they're being squeezed! Up onto the ropes. Zellsis just couldn't quite escape in time. Trying to go a little bit quirky with the movement there. Zekken's just not able to get that kill. Slightest miss with a Bucky in hand. And it's up to Bang to respond. And he does. It's 2 ripped away and Armageddon of their own, and they have that site access. Turning it back into the 3v3. Slowed once more. Great sticking with the plant. John finds his kill. And his... SEN are not out of that danger zone just yet. Creeping forwards, he's just spotted it. Just the shoulder. Fault line, it's instantaneous. It's rapid. These players are dwindling. They are toppling. G2. It's almost there. It's within their grasp. have it. Not to be denied. Haven is inevitable. Ourselves, shield popped. Trying to ISO these fights. Zellsis gets caught onto the flank there. Stun's going to be that connection. The rate a lot to do into this spot. Spamming away, praying, and the damage done. He was whittled down to just double digits, and it was enough at the end of the day. But Zekken has granted him at least easy access, potentially over towards C. He might have just seen it. Twists and turns, and these fights that are taken. Jawgemo wins it out versus Bang.
A 2v2 fighting garage going to be set up here.
And damage done prior. I mean, Jawgemo just goes down. That's a TP relocation. Pivot back and away, but John has taken that space. Didn't anticipate that there was a second player ready to face it. And now Zekken in that 1v3. Valen's got the smoke for it. It's very difficult to play this one. Zekken purely just have to base it off of spam, essentially. And now he can stick it. His team is applying that pressure. They've got to squeeze on him, though. Do these players even know? Are they even aware? The answer is no. Leaf strikes right from behind, and Zellsis has got to do a lot here. He's got to try and salvage this entire hit that's coming through over towards the A site. Zellsis can now become a bit of a problem player for them. Do they have to clear up the cam? It's a game of cat and mouse while the plan does go down, but he's looking in a different direction.
Jawgemo is also a problem player, though. He was behind in A long and Sen never cleared it.
Dropped down. And the angle's there. Jawgemo's in their faces. Do they know where Bang is? Sticking, Jaw gets half. There's a smoke to supplement it, covering it, obfuscating it. It's 3 in a row for G2. The problem that's rearing its head. Bang survives with the rifle.
They are playing retake. You take the site. If not, you catch him in the ISO.
Jonapi's been out in the open there. He thought that he had the timing. This dimensional drift might not even be necessary, but he is going to spot out these players, and hello, combo it up. Yep, take it into the gulag. Good luck winning it, and Trent somehow manages it. There's a shield to contest with. Still there, gets one. Locked up onto the side, but it was the
really difficult to defend against. You see the combos that they have. And even when Trent gets this, he's gonna get traded out. It is ridiculous that he also caught John Cutie. Whoa, what are we going for here?
Off the rips, flashes in their faces, salvos and Armageddon! Narrate stems the bleeding and takes the bite out of that play. Jawgemo's still gonna be taking the space off the back of that, but forced to respect it with a TP of his own. They're trying to squeeze these players.
Yeah, it's a set play that we've seen some other teams go for, actually, but...
Leaf holds on over Zellsis! Leaf's got two! Trent through the back to raise the vine and Hunter's Fury. He's going to be whipping his way around with just a one tag. Not enough to get the damage done. Not enough. Fighting for a link control as two players to meet them. Spots the shoulder. It's going to be a clone into your face. Could be blinding you potentially, but he turns it still. Flashed up. And they're just wandering, waiting out. Time for the drop down. Flash on top of it. Hell player. Bang needed to win that fight out, and he still needs to hold it down even further. It's just one man. Now, what can he do? Dodge at a flash. Quick turn to the side. Plant's still not down for them. He's going to be stuck, committed. Cosmic Divider forces them forwards into the fight and into the fray. And G2 are now aware of it. They know the possible positions. The IGL has you in his sights.
Org holding the angle. And then Zekken does a very similar thing and just tries to find the timing into the B smoke. Both duelists lurking in this round, but he's got the ult.
Salvo fault line all being expended here, but that's a TP clone. Actually on top of the bricks. That's a ult narrowly avoided.
He got the clone, did he?
Sucking onto a couple of these players. Yeah, is that a clone play? Absurd reactions from Jawgemo, just anticipating it, but a clone in your face doesn't matter. No, he can't go and get out. It's traded in time. Bang at least gives them that. And a player advantage on top of it, but they haven't cleared. Valin backs to him! Done to Bang, wrapping around by Leaf. It's all about this timing, and they are doubled up towards short. Doubled up, and he's, the player weak! Does he anticipate? The Zellsis has cut it up into the corner. It's all about this timing, and the fight to be taken! Off-angle approach.
Look, it's a weird way of using the ISO.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to force that re-clear, which Leaf apparently not favored for. Valin! It's impeccable with the timing. I mean, Narek just not worried about it. He's trying to back himself out of the fight. Clone was used in mid, just pulls back that wall as well on top of it, but the salve is going to be used as that response, and Jawgemo ready to lock it down. He's got teammates at his back, and he's taking a fight straight to them. Flashes in their face, stuns to supplement, slow down the pace. The drone now has to be offloaded. Sen looking to get themselves in. It's a half clearance. It's a half clearance! Trent, he's just decimated them! It's all smiles for G2.
All right, here's an exec, though, from Sen, on an eco, albeit.
And they need Narrate to lead that charge. It is an eco. Hold on, twist and turns. You're trying to break the ankles, but again, not quite the weaponry for it still. Pan gets the one, swing through the cage, and Zellsis has gone down anyway. It's rapid.
G2 マジ強すぎ。
He's timed across to the drone, but, well, darts in order, and Salvo's at your feet. Good luck crossing that boundary. Cosmic Divide even committed, shows a bit of respect, I think, that G2 were making sure to expend these ults, and they've got the crossfire set up. Jump spot. How cheeky do you want to get? Armageddon is going to be layered down onto these players as well, and it's created that window in a pocket. Still Zekken from behind, and he does wrangle his rifle just in time. It's two dropped. Zekken needed that. Needed to show himself up here still. He's stunned. Go to the corner and unaware of where Jonah could be coming from. Wait a second, it's a 1v2. Drone not being used. Flash up and over towards the top, but tagged up. Jonah forced to respect it. Cannot give these G2 players ins, and you can feel it now. Sen realize it. Offload and volley util. Double tap. It's a good call to make. And no
今ま
go.
で見た選手で一番強かったね。ガチ神の悪は飲んでた。
Starts swarming, getting into position for this one. Forwards, double taking, just trying to get ahead of the curve as well as it set up a curve. Blind as anything, Balin. He's just running rings around him, but Zekken left to try and control the situation. But it's too much to even hit.
強かった。
Confident.
で今神の悪は飲んでるからこうなってる。稲妻イレブン見てる人はね分かるはずやっぱ。おー。
Just the shoulder peeking out. Shots fired off as well. Calls made for G2. They want to try and take this full focus in towards the back of the site. Narrate to cracking one to try and open it up. And the issue forced. Jawgemo pressing forwards. But still these players, these bodies, as much as the advantage was found, it suddenly just turned all the way right around. G2, how are you managing this? It was all wrong. I mean, it was looking so likely.
Trying to deny the ult orb.
From clears. But he missed his way around. I mean, they just committed the aftershock anyway. Doesn't matter that they missed him. This is C control and a TP deep up onto the side. Bang. Just trying to layer it down as well. A bit of recovery and fire is in order and necessary. But the rate has got to do it all.
うわナイスフラッ
Quick
シュ。
dismiss, a quick flick of the wrist just to try and dodge these dashes. And the flash is coming his way. 2 versus 3 though. Plant going down. No problems there. And G2 getting ever closer. Flowing forwards, facing away. John QT.
ワンチャンス？
It's a lovely time to make a play, but it's going to need a little bit more.
Sweet.
Dart revealing, bit of spam potential, but still they're going to try and take this one together.
うまいね
Let me jump in right clicks. Up. Shield popped. Paints the picture. It's obvious right now for G2, but despite how obvious it is, you have to hit back and you have to fight back. Sentinel's not willing to go down without a fight, not just. Zekken missed the clearance, I'm not too sure. There's a dart. Rebounding round the back and spam into the smoke. They got to know and expect it. Yeah.
So many more of those. But Narrate didn't have a chance to use his ISO ultimate here. So he's still got that available. And in a larger macro sense as well, they have trying to get value from the ISO ult early.
What is this? Decision making for Bang. He's forced to make the decision. Right. Still, he knows that the players cross past that threshold. And it is returned with a fire and a trade in sight. Bang dropped. Deep drone in.
今の TP 通るの？
It might even be able to get that thrifty win still. Okay, there's a dart to Hunter's Fury. It's all going to be used to stem the bleeding here for Sen.
John completely caught unaware.
Yeah. So bullet to the back of the head for Trent. Well, steps forwards, only earns himself the one, but Sight given up. Zekken with the rifle. And Narrate with a shield. Can't overstep himself here. He goes into the Fawns, he loses it anyway, but the duration just running out. It's a nice little util combo still. They're not out of danger just yet. G2 have control of this one. It's a lot of util expended that paranoia sweeps its way through. No play to take space though, not from Sen. I believe they're going to get stalled out, and they are. Slowed down, re-clearance out into garage. Might just come down to these fights that are taken. Dart rebound. Zekken was almost alone when he's taking that one. And these players are falling. Sen to do a lot here. Clearing the way forwards. Jawgemo is low. The dash, or at least the flash, is going to be broken here. Cut it up. Leave cannot do it here.
いや、
Leaving it
Jawgemo
down to
ワンチャン
Jawgemo.
やば抜きしそう。
TP up on above. Jawgemo hears it. He expects it. But in a
わからんく
1v2.
なってきたマジで。
And on top of it. Cut to the corner. Zekken. Zekken! Like a thief in the night. Inside the cage. And he turned himself and his team an opening pick. Bang! Within that chaos, this man, of course, is going to be thriving. The windows of opportunities that are being created by his teammates. And they're ready to run this one all the way to another round win. 2 left to stand from G2. How often have these players been in this spot? Balin and Jonah P. The rate's gone. There's a dimensional drift now to set the pace. and change the tide of the fight potentially, but Jonah B's in himself level rolling thunder inside through short down to the 1v1. Valen, he's low enough. Tiniest of margins is what this lies on. Could it be 12 or could it be Sentinels in control of once again another round? John QT, there's no tap, there's no hiding it. It's half earned. He wants to stick it, and Valen punishes. All lies on this. The retake it coming through. Zellsis watching for the flank. Leaf has been down and out, and the feed is filling up with blue. Jawgemo locking it down, crash up to the corner. And this is a rapid approach indeed. Sentinels not to be pushed back.
It looks like when they were at their tippity top and relied so heavily on these retakes to get back in. G2, because Bang is always alive. And then round 23, see if you can lock things up. But for Sentinels, they've got to be perfect, and that just isn't.
It's a missed opportunity at that. The spam coming through onto either side of this one. The shield is immediately gone. Okay, you're pulled into my world now, and Array wants to take this fight straight to them. Okay, rewarded. Shield online, waits until the final moment as an aftershock as they were trying to predict that location. Array is the one to salvage the operation. Could have been Diane, could have gone wrong. But ultimately, it's Sentinels here. They're going to push it back. The Hunter's Fury is delayed. He's delayed. Jawgemo, he's into back lines. Jawgemo, he's tearing them a new one. And now Sentinels left to do with just 3 left standing. A player disadvantage. Here's the retake coming through. The blinds are good, but the kills need to be better. And G2 will not be denied. It's a death knell tolls. And for Sentinels themselves, it all lands on their shoulders and bang. One to be fine, but 2 more left standing. G2. They've been tested, they've been pushed, but the util just makes it almost impossible. TP forwards, 11 HP to his name. Jubilation for G2. The victory that eluded them. A title gained and garnered.